Today we went on a road trip to Adventures in Stamping and stopped at the Rubbernecker booth and had the owner, David Miller, do a great demonstration on how to line up their layered stamps. It's something that is kind of confusing, and I hope that you'll stay tuned and watch. Here at the Rubbernecker Stamp booth, I don't know if you remember last year, David Miller, who's one of the owners of Rubbernecker Stamps, sent me a whole box of wonderful stamps, and I asked him if he'd be willing to show the process of their layered stamps. And so that's what he's going to do for you today. He does not want to be seen on camera. He just wants to show the technique, so he's very anonymous, okay? Secret. He's James Bond. So Rich is going to show the video.
Has the stamps in the package. You're going to take them out of the package, and you're going to, what we do is, you can take them the way they come, and you can just take them and lay them down over the image like this, and then take your block and put it on the stamp. The trick here is to get something common between the two, and so we chose to run the edge of the block parallel with the edge of the paper. Now this particular stamp that I chose to show you is very, very precisely aligned with the color. Okay, and so it takes a little bit more than just doing that to get it right. Some of them we have, like this newer one, you can see the colors all outside the lines. So this has no precise alignment required at all. It's very easy to do, but this one is different. So let's take a look at that. So what I did was I took the line stamp. The solid stamp, it does not need to be modified. It'll go down and it'll just fit about like that. And we'll put our block on it parallel, and we're good to go. But the line stamp is going to be stamping and trying to align with this solid stamp. So what I did was I wanted some points on there that were very specific to me. So I came back and notched this, and I worked at it, and I used this kind of a pair of scissors. It doesn't have to be Tim Holtz scissors, but you want a fine-jawed, detailed scissors to do this with.
They work great.
Okay? Shears are not what you want.
No.
Okay. So I decided that this point and this point on these two leaves were important, and I chose this point and this point up here on the rows, and I notched those. And what I get is, when this color has been stamped and I'm laying this over the top of it on my block, I can see that one and that one very clearly, and when the color disappears up here on this notch, and I know that my leaf tips are lined up, I slowly bring it down, and I need those notches when it's precise like this. But I get a very, very precise stamped image from this, and this is evidence to that one I did earlier. I'm off just a touch here, but every place else it's more than acceptable.
So how do you do that when, okay, now let's say you need your paper in the mix. So where would you put your paper so that you're sure you did it right?
Well, when I stamp the paper, because I'm going to use the notches more than the edge of the paper, it's not important to really line this up straight. Okay. But you might as well start with it that way because it just is that much more helpful. Okay, so we get that as parallel as we can. I'm a little bit tipped this way on this one, so if I know that, then I'll just adjust for that. Okay. Now my focus is that point, and those 2 points right there. So I just threw this back on, so it's not aligned at all. So we're just gonna go ahead and follow the path of the stamp itself. Right there, right there. I like that. See how we did.
Nice job.
Look at that.
That's perfect.
So just give yourself a couple notches on these things. Some of them I have notched excessively, all over the place. But when I lay this one down, well, actually I was pretty cocky on this one, and I said, oh, this one will be perfect. And then as I slid my hands down, I could feel my hand sliding toward me, and I knew I had missed it instantly, but there was nothing I could do about it at that point.
I understand. Now, how did you do something like this when you have the...
These are the new ones, and they're easy, because when we drew these, I drew the color to miss all over the place. Okay. So all you have to do is get in the general area. If you do the stamps on the package, you're going to be fine. That's going to take out the rotation, and you'll be fine. The color will stick out on either side. You just kind of hit it in the middle, and you're good to go.
Got it.
This year's stamps are very easy to do.
But you did it with different colors. It looks like.
Oh, how I did the actual
yellow
color?
and yeah, but still with the layers.
Well, it's all on one. So
Oh, so it's all in one. I get you now. I thought this was two.
no, it's all.
Okay.
I mean, it's all one color, one solid stamp. So we just simply paint.
And if you have your winner, please bring us a picture.
Some of our red.
Also from your prize. Thank you.
And I'll pick up a little bit more of it because that's fairly light. So I'll put a little bit more so I get an accent of red. Notice that I'm not putting much water on the stamp. The brush is really, really dry. But that's enough to melt the powder.
And that's
This is the color burst.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
And I can put the color right next to the color, and I'm not getting any blending yet. I can work this just like a marker, but it's much more intense than a marker. And I can pick up dark color to go over the top of the light color.
Oh, that's
And
pretty.
it just sits there. But before we stamp it, we're going to spray it with water. So depending on the paper I'm using, this is cardstock, so that's more than enough water for cardstock.
Sure.
If I was using a felt, like this paper, which we do a lot of our stamping on, it gives me more blending of the color. This demands more water, so I would almost have standing water on that.
And it's actual felt.
No, it's a felt paper.
Does it feel like felt?
Does it feel like felt?
No, it doesn't feel like felt at all.
It's called a felt. It is like a
Nice.
sponge. It's a very absorbent paper.
I'm gonna have to get some of that.
This is watercolor paper, and it is. It has a clay coat on it. That's what watercolor paper does. So the color sits on the surface. On this, it soaks in.
I'm gonna have to get some of those.
Different things do different things.
Yeah.
All
I've
right.
never heard of felt paper. Ooh. How cool is that?
Same technique. Find the color underneath.
Find the point.
Locate your points.
Yeah.
And trust yourself.
Yeah, there's the tricky part. Trusting ourselves.
It doesn't have to be perfect. It is watercolor, and watercolor has always got a little bit margin of error when they do it. They do. So, you know. But
Beautiful.
yeah.
Really beautiful.
This is the most detailed, specific stamp that we have.
Yeah.
And I think I hit it better than any of the others because I pay a little bit more attention. But because I just choose those points, those points get anywhere close to being aligned, everything else has to fall into place. So
Cool. Thank you, David, so much.
You're welcome. Thanks
Can we
for
take
stopping
photos
by.
of that?
You can take it.
Oh, thank you so much, David. I really hope that you enjoyed David Miller's description on how to, first of all, line up their layered stamp, and also how to use the Ken Oliver dry powders to become watercolor, and then watercoloring this for us, and that you'll give this a thumbs up and subscribe. Please tell your friends about me on social media because you know I love that. And thanks so much for watching. Bye-bye.